Hi guys, so today I want to share another story with you. Today I want to talk about Kenya Moore is the first housewife to admit Nene is being phased out, plus Andy Cohen and Nene feud gets even worse. Oh my God, you guys. Now, I told you when I find out what's going on behind the scenes and hear all the rumors and gossip that I would come on right away and fill you guys in. And it's a doozy, okay? I mean, there is so much going on, and if you watch my videos, I always said I don't like when drama gets to a feverish pitch, when people just can't say I'm sorry and then make up after whatever disagreements that they're having. This is where we're getting to the point with Andy Cohen and Nene Leakes. This is going way beyond I'm sorry. And to be honest with you guys, it's a little scary. But let's start with the Kenya news first. Okay, guys, so Kenya gave a interview to Entertainment Tonight, and she basically admitted, yeah, Nene's being phased out. This is what she said. She said she missed out at least 4 to 5 episodes this season. So that clearly means the network is sending a message to you. You're not as important as you think you are. Either the network feels that you are still a valuable asset on the show, or they don't. And you're replaced and phased out. And you just have to move on. So in other words, yes, Nene's being phased out and she's not happy about it, people. She's not choosing just to move on. Now, clearly, this is a huge victory lap for Kenya Moore, who has been sparring with Nene for years. It really got to the point of you and me. And I don't know if you guys remember, I said earlier in the season, this is getting so bad, one of them has to go, okay? So I was right. It's gotten to the point that the one that has to go is Nene. So that's a huge victory for Kenya. But she's one of the few housewives that's looking at it as a victory, including Kandi Burruss and Cynthia Bailey. Now, we all know those two are Kenya's ride or die. They're her good friends, but they're not looking at this as a victory lap. In fact, none of the women on the entire franchise is looking at it as a victory lap. They're all turning their attentions to Andy Cohen, okay? As far as Vicky and Tamara, it started with a fan that accused Andy of ageism. A fan just came straight out and accused him of ageism. He, of course, denied it, but the fans are picking up on that. Okay, so now behind the scenes, a lot of the housewives were saying, yes, this is definitely ageism, and they feel that Andy's not being fair in the way that he's laying these people off. Okay, so that's with Vicky and Tamara. It gets even worse for Nene Leakes. The rumors are behind the scenes, Andy knows that Nene has a huge fan base, and he basically wanted to turn her fans against her. This is when he came out with the whole trying to embarrass her. The rumor is he's saying bad things about her behind her back to the other housewives. So he started out trying to get to turn her fans and some of the housewives that like her on her, okay? This is where he started this feud. Now, behind the scenes, a lot of the housewives are upset about this. They're saying that he didn't have to do her that way. He could have just fired her, given her the option to say that she quit the show, like he has done so many in the past. Now, we all know that he had a big, huge feud with Bethany Frankel before she left the show. And people are just saying behind the scenes, the fellow housewives, that he's like power hungry and that he could handle this situation totally different. And they're actually scared for their jobs at this point and nobody trusts him. Now, let's move over to the Nene fans. I hate to say it, but these are the rumors, and I hate to talk about this word because it really puts people on edge. It gets people's guard up. But a lot of Nene's fans are accusing him of racism. They're saying he didn't send the white housewives out like that. Why is he doing Nene like this? Now, we all know when that word gets involved into a picture, people lose their mind. They go crazy. People's guards go up. It's an explosive word. And to be accused of this is serious. But this is what Nene's fans are talking about in the comment section of her social media. Okay, so we've got that going on. Then we got the fact that Nene has threatened in so many words, she hasn't come out and spoken it, but by hiring Lisa Bloom and then letting Lisa Bloom give that statement about how she felt, what was going on behind the scenes, Andy's pissed, people. Like I told you in my previous video, when you start talking lawsuits, tempers start flaring, and it's just a big mess. Now, you have a lot of the black housewives that are saying that, it's being racist what he's doing to Nene. He could have just fired her and whatnot. And then they're going back to the last season when I guess Ken Zolciak had made some racist comments. The entire black cast was offended, and Andy ended up not doing anything to Kim about it, and not only that, giving Kim a raise. And I guess throughout the season, they have been complaining about Kim doing racist things, but he didn't do anything about it. He takes her out, he gives her a raise and her own show. They're saying that, he treats the black housewives a lot different than he does the white housewives. So many of the white housewives are feeling a lack of job security. They feel that Andy's power hungry and no one's going to say anything. People are afraid to speak up, and I can't say I blame them. Then you have the black housewives with those same emotions, but they throw racists into the mix. They're saying, we feel that same way, but it's even worse for us because he treats us a lot worse than he does you guys because we're black. This is getting insane, people. Insane. I mean, forget what's going on screen. I mean, they've got just as much drama going on behind the scenes. Now, how do I feel about all this? You guys know I always throw my 2 cents in. I'm a little confused, and I don't know what to say. I do agree with the housewives that it doesn't make a good working environment if you feel that I'm going to get fired at any moment. That does leave me a tad bit on pins and needles. So I understand where they're coming from with that. Do I think that ageism is going on? Yes and no. I mean, if you want to freshen up the show and bring on new talent, well, that does mean that the people that have been there the longest are older. So I go back and forth with it. I mean, at the end of the day, he's allowed to hire and fire whoever he wants because that comes with the perks of being executive producer. This is his show. This is his baby. He could do what he wants to with it. Could he have handled it better where he's not making enemies? Yeah, he really could. I mean, you did give Tamara and what's her name? Tamara and Vicky the option of saying that they are leaving the show when that they were fired. So do I feel that racism is involved with Nene? I'm not gonna go there just yet. But I will say he's being a lot more disrespectful to Nene than he did the other housewives that happen to be white. So I'm thinking that Andy is handling all of the situation wrong. And it does come off egotistical. And the last thing you want to do is turn these people into enemies. Now, when he realized that he was turning Bethany Frankel into an enemy, they split on bad terms. She left the same day she was supposed to show up and film, and she called in and said, ain't happening. And not only am I not filming, I quit. They left on bad terms. He must have realized later on, why make an enemy out of Bethany Frankel? He went back and placed a big, huge ad in the paper about some of her philanthropy that she did. And it was like, we love you. You have an open invitation. But he didn't leave like that. She didn't leave like that. He made an enemy out of Vicky and Tamara. He has tried to smooth it over by calling Tamara and I'm sorry, at least I made you rich, but he's handling these firings, and this is the beginning, in the wrong way. You don't have to kick people when they're down and spit on them and tell them to get out. You can be professional about it, Andy. And especially when you have been preaching for the last couple seasons that we're family, we stick together. You can't strip people of their pride. They're going to come out swinging. Is just no doubt they're going to come out swinging. And so, yeah, you made friends with Bethany Frankel, but Bethany, you can't keep her quiet. She's been going around saying, no, Andy was pissed at me. This is why I quit. He made it a very uncomfortable working environment. Now let's talk about Nene Leakes fans. I could see how it can come across that you're racist. You didn't do it to the white talent, but now you're acting this way, belittling her with the black talent. If I'm a Nene Leakes fan, I would definitely be like, oh, he's racist. You're gonna end up losing all the way around. Just like the Vicky fans are saying that you fired her because of ageism, you could have thought of a different way to execute what I call Bloody Massacre Wednesday. That's what I'm calling the firings. It's being done in a piss poor shitty way, and it does come across like you're ego tripping and that you're getting some pleasure out of it. Like I said, you called Tamra on Instagram. Why couldn't this phone call been done behind the scenes? Why is everything so in the public? You cannot just throw these housewives away as if they meant nothing to you, because you never know. The tables might turn. You just don't want to burn bridges. It's a bad look. Still, would I fire him if I was, would I sue him if I was Nene? I'm the type of person, I'm not a suer. But, you know, if she's that pissed, this is going to be a mess, Andy, and I blame you for it all. I don't blame you for the firings. You have every right to freshen up your show and run it the way that you want to run it. But as far as burning bridges in the process, you didn't have to do it that way. Have a little class, Andy. Have a little class and stop turning these housewives into enemies. I mean, Vicky Gunvalson is not over it. You've heard the rumor. She's never going to get over it. Okay, Tamra Judge, she might speak to you, but there's resentment there. And so, in Nene, there's huge resentment there. I mean, I don't know, you should have sat them down and said, this is where we're at. What's the best way, you think you can handle it? But, word is that you didn't even talk to Tamra before the firing. You just let your staff do it. It could be done a lot better. You sit a person down that you've known over a decade and you say, I'm so thankful that you did this show for me. But I want to go in a different direction. But I want to leave you your pride and your dignity. What's the best way to go out? Tamra ended up telling the truth, not because out of respect for you or she's a truth teller. She ended up telling the truth because that's what really happened and she was upset about it. You heard her. She was crying. Do you think just because you gave her a phone call that she's not upset anymore? And now, am I going to go, if I'm one of the housewives left, let's say I'm Shannon Bedore, am I going to go and give you my all, give you the worst side of me, give you a strong storyline when I know I could be next? You're running a mess here, Andy. Like I said, Housewives was a great invention, a great thing that you came up to. Don't run it into the ground. I mean, please. It is time to move on with some of these housewives, but it could be done in a better way. That's what I think of it. And then, it's just now the racist word is getting in the picture. You never know, Andy. You could be shooting yourself in the foot. I'm just saying. So that's all the drama and the rumors that are going on behind the scenes. So what I want to know today from you guys in my comment section is, do you think that Andy is firing these housewives is a ageism thing? Number 2, do you think when it comes to Nene Leakes, it's a racism thing? And number 3, do you think he has an ego and he's actually enjoying all of this? Also, if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.